This episode is brought to you by Warlord Games. For the best-selling history-themed tabletop games, head over to the Warlord Games website and check out the Bolt Action World War II series. Watchtowers. For centuries, watchtowers were the first line of defense against any approaching enemy a settlement might have. But they rapidly developed from being simple wooden structures containing just a couple of lightly armed men to being much bigger, taller, and more elaborate stone towers containing a large number of heavily armed soldiers with the means to keep watch over a large area of the surrounding vicinity. The Roman Empire was one of the first to build vast numbers of permanent watchtowers to protect their borders and encampments, as were the Persians and the Chinese. The ancient Chinese network of fortifications and watchtowers, collectively known as the Great Wall of China, stretched for over 13,000 miles. It is by far the most impressive architectural achievement of its type in the world today. By the medieval times, these watchtowers were built into all the major fortifications scattered across the world, especially being built into the mighty castles of the rich and powerful in Europe. They now serve the dual purpose of not only being used for observation, but also as a key part of a fortification's defenses. Often they had multiple arrow loopholes for archers to fire from, as well as having weapons that could be used by defenders, like pots of boiling oil, ballistas, catapults, and later on, large cannons. As naval power and commerce became more important, so did watchtowers in order to ward off invading fleets or pirate attacks. The British Empire invested heavily in a network of Martello towers across the world to protect its harbors and shipping lanes. These relatively small forts with incredibly thick walls and small batteries of cannons were designed to withstand heavy bombardment. Soon, binoculars and telescopes were being used so that these watchtowers could keep guard over an even wider area. And with the introduction of field phones and transistor radios at the start of the 20th century, they became even more useful. By World War II, static defenses proved to be vulnerable to the more mobile warfare that started to appear in the mid-20th century in the form of mechanized units and air power. The French Maginot Line, with its giant series of watchtowers, bunkers, and fortifications, was simply outflanked and encircled by the fast-moving panzer divisions. And the mighty Belgian fortress of Eben-Emael, the largest in the world and said to be truly invincible, did not fare much better. It was neutralized by German airborne special forces in less than a day, who lost only 6 men doing so. Simple watchtowers were still useful, however, especially in guarding vast amounts of prisoners at POW camps. Armed with a single machine gun and a searchlight, these watchtowers proved to be a cheap yet highly effective deterrent to anyone thinking of escaping. These days, watchtowers still have a role to play in modern warfare. But with ever-increasing sophisticated technology in the forms of sensors, drones, and CCTV, the role of watchtowers has diminished.
Hey, Simple History fans! Get me your very own limited edition Simple History Soldier plushie. Available to purchase until October 2nd at $24.99 US plus tax and shipping. And once pre-orders are fulfilled, I will ship out 60 to 80 days after the campaign ends. Once I'm gone, I'm gone. Head over to the link in the description below to get your limited edition Simple History plushie today.